All right. So, Timmy B, who are your top five greatest female fighters of all time? You went first last time. I'm gonna go this first this time. All right. This way you
Oh,
can
okay, good. Thank
tell me
God.
how crazy I am. All right. I'm going five
Yeah.
to one. Number five, Joanna Jędrzejczyk. Okay. I had to pronounce it. I got it on my teleprompter and I still butchered it. But with a name like Jason DeBias, you gotta forgive me because you ain't getting my name right either. We'll just call her Joanna. Right. She's got a nickname for the people that can't pronounce it. Joanna Champion. And the reason why they called her champion is because from the moment she won that belt to the moment she was a defending champion, she was professional. She was a great marketing tool. She was also an international superstar that had pull in Poland. So she's my number five. Number four. Some of them try to rhyme, but they can't rhyme like this. Rousey. Ronda Rousey. Rowdy Rousey. I mean, Rowdy Piper, I have a really hard time with the Rowdy thing. So I'm just going to go Ronda Rousey. Undefeated in Strikeforce. Had a terrific match with Misha Tate that probably caught Dana's eye. Had a very dangerous match as with her debut in the UFC because the former Marine whose name escapes me, what was her name, her first match? Because she was in dangerous of
Liz
getting choked out.
Carmouche.
Yes, Liz Carmouche is a dangerous match, and we all know that could have went another way. So great resilience.
She had her. She
Yeah,
had her
she
in the
really
choke.
did. But
Yeah.
big up to Ronda, just reaching down to something that knew what was at stake. And from that point on, armbar this, armbar that, became this sensation, this blue check, one of our first blue check celebrities, and there she is. Number three, Chris Cyborg. Chris Cyborg was such a dangerous fighter that one, they made a division for her in the UFC, and two, once she left, they got rid of the division because no one wanted to be in the division because no one wanted to fight her. Only one person wanted to fight her, and that was the one person that came through, and nobody else came through. Ronda Rousey could have easily fought at 145. In fact, she did fight at 145 at Strikeforce and ran to 135 and said, "If you want me, Chris, come get me," knowing that woman would have to suck herself dry. Number two, Valentina Shevchenko. Just give me that dance, girl. Just give me that. I don't know if it's an Irish dance. I don't know if it's a Lima, Peru dance. I don't know if it's a Russian dance. I don't know. I don't care. She has, very much like Demetrius Johnson, has defeated a lot of her opponents in different ways. Submissions, long, convincing decisions, 5 rounds of a butt whooping, knockout, great smile. Her English is better than my English is, which isn't saying much. So apologies and compliments to her. But give mine to Joanna Jędrzejczyk, and the only reason why she's not number one is because she lost 2 close decisions to my number one fighter, and that is Amanda Nunes. Amanda Nunes seemed like a middle of the pack fighter, got submitted by Kat Zingano, but from that point on was like, nope, I need new coaches. I need a new approach, and approach she did. All the way up to Ronda Rousey, 45 seconds, felt disrespected, got no promotion, and from that point on, Misha, you want some too? Boom. In fact, got Misha first, right? Holly, you never been finished? Okay. Yes, you were, but you're going to get finished again, all right? Oh, Chris Cyborg, I could go up to 145 and beat you. Not only beat her, face planted her. And us as MMA people never thought in our lives we would see Chris Cyborg not only but beat in that fashion where it's a walk away. It was I mean, I'm not talking about Mark Hunt walk away. There's levels to the face plant walk away, but I had that flashback.
Yeah.
So that's my 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Amanda, the lioness, Nunes.
I'm so sad that you're wrong, though. That's the only problem.
That's why you get to go second. That's why you get to go
No,
second.
I like
You see
I
how I
like your
planned this?
five, man. I like your five. I like your five. Of course, my five has a few similars on there, but I'm glad to say that they're not the same and they're in different positions. My five starts with Gina Carano. Okay, the reason why Gina Carano is on this list
Yay!
is
Sorry.
for the men
Mhm.
watching this podcast. Now you can put up on the screen a picture of Gina Carano in her prime, God damn it, in her prime. Now, Gina Carano, for those that don't know, is Cara Dune from Star Wars, or she was in Deadpool. So that actress, or she was in the revamp of American Gladiators, but Gina Carano, prime Gina Carano, finished her career before Ronda Rousey even had her first pro fight. But Gina Carano was the one kicking ass and looking good while doing it,
Man.
all throughout Elite XC pretty much, and was like in that kind of like that shadow promotion, right? The one that wasn't UFC, but it was this weird upstart Elite XC kicking ass out there. But she was good looking, she was kicking ass, and she really, I would say, paved the way for Ronda to then pave the way for women's sports. You know what I mean?
Right.
Uh, you spoke about Liz Carmouche. I just had her on my podcast last month, and she talked about the push, especially back in the day, but even now about like how women, like, you got to look good, you also got to fight good. Like, there was a push on that. Gina Carano really fit the mold, man. So Gina Carano is my number 5. My number 4 is Joanna Jędrzejczyk, or Joanna Champion, whatever you want to call her, for all the reasons that you said, right? Oh, hello. Okay. Now this
That's
podcast just
Gina.
got interesting. So Joanna Champion, she's my number 4, right? Obviously, she brought in finishes to the strawweight division, which I think that was something that we had never really seen in the UFC before, right? Up until then, it wasn't. But Joanna came in and was murdering chicks. So
Yes.
Joanna, of course, plus her personality, right? Her personality and her outgoingness, that she sold that division, which has lasted till today. Number 3 on my list is really my favorite current female fighter, Stamp Fairtex. So Stamp Fairtex out in ONE FC, she's doing it all. She's a
Huh.
3 division champ, 3 sport champion, kickboxing, Muay Thai, and MMA. She's got the look, she's got the style, dances her way into the ring, dances her way out of it, kicks ass. She is one to watch. If you don't know who the hell I'm talking about, because a lot of you do not watch ONE FC, just go look up Stamp Fairtex and you'll see what the hell I'm talking about.
Spell it for
She
my people.
was that?
Spell it for my people.
ONE FC?
The last name of the fighter.
Fairtex?
Fairtex.
Fairtex.
Gotcha.
Stamp
All
Fairtex. Go
right,
look her
cool.
up,
All
okay?
right, common knowledge. My bad.
I don't
Jeez.
know who you're talking about. Okay. Stamp Fairtex is my number 3. Number 2, I've got Chris Cyborg. I think Chris Cyborg, she epitomized the new breed of women fighters, right? She's the one that beat Gina Carano, retired Gina Carano, and Cyborg for a long time was the, when you thought of a woman MMA fighter, you thought of Cyborg, right? So I think she just held women's MMA for a long, long time. I think she's kick-ass. She's still doing her thing. She's boxing now or doing whatever. But I think, Cyborg deserves to be up there for who she is. Interestingly, your number 1 didn't even make my list, my friend, because Amanda Nunes is not on my list. My number 1 is the only UFC Funko Pop that I have. Ronda Rousey, baby.
What? What?
Wait, you're mad that Ronda Rousey is my pick, or you're mad that I have a Funko Pop of
No,
Ronda Rousey?
but Ronda Rousey deserves to be on this list, but you got her number 1?
Number 1, man. You know why? Because God, for all the shit that I see online with people saying that women fighters suck, women shouldn't be on fight cards. Recently, now the big thing, like Sean Strickland, on his commentary this week was talking bad about it, saying, "Hey, if women MMA fighters were on their own separate division, would you even watch?" No, so disrespectful.
You're right.
Canadian Charles Jourdain was just tweeting the other day about like women fights, who cares about those, blah blah. And it's like, dude, do you guys not train with women in your gym? Like, I don't know how you can go out and say such disrespectful stuff. But mind you, Ronda Rousey paved the way for UFC to have women's fights. I really enjoy women's fights. I don't think that they should be gone. I think that it is enjoyable and that it is a different thing to our enjoyment of the sport. She went in there, she kicked ass, she looked good doing it. She had her attitude, which was killer, right? Like, she had the personality, she had everything to sell. She sold pay-per-views like no one else has ever done. Barely any men can sell pay-per-views like Ronda did. I just think Ronda deserves it. When you think about a female MMA fighter today, I think a lot of people think of Ronda Rousey. As much as you thought about Cyborg before, I think Rousey has done it. And I don't think people think about Nunes, Joanna, uh, anybody, any other female fighters, as much as they think about Ronda right now. Ronda still really is that image.
Still relevant,
And
yeah.
she's still relevant. And I'm predicting that she is going to fight on UFC 300. I think she fights Miesha Tate on UFC 300.
I think Miesha Tate would take that fight, and I also think
I would love for
I
her to
also
get that
think
fight.
what I don't want to see is manufactured animosity. It was a long time ago, and not even Ronda
No,
Rousey,
no, no.
and not even
These
Ronda
chicks
Rousey
hate
would
each
have
other.
would come in with a grudge. What? Misha Tate don't hate nobody. She don't hate that chick no more.
No, no, no. Are
Misha
you
Tate got
kidding?
bigger fish to fry, and Misha Tate's been there the whole damn time while she was off wrestling. So come on, nah.
No, I think that there would be true animosity between them.
It would be created by Ronda, because Ronda, and if you remember her fights,
But if you're
a lot of that she had to self create to motivate her. She had this Michael Jordan thing going on where all someone had to
sure,
say was, "I heard you were talking junk about me." It could have been wrong. Just hearing it, that was it. The
yeah,
same thing she did with Holly Holm with the stare down. Oh,
but
this girl's pretending to be nice. I'm like, what the Holly ain't do shit to you? What are you talking
no,
about?
no, no,
You
no.
just
Yeah,
no,
but
come
that was her
on.
attitude, man. That was her attitude. That was her style. That was what her energy was that she brought. I think if Misha Tate, the way that she just performed against Raging Panda Julia Avila a
Mhm.
couple months ago, Misha Tate was a beast. But if you dare bring in Ronda Rousey to fight me and think that I'm going to lay down for Ronda Rousey at UFC 300, Misha Tate better fire herself up and freaking go out there to kill Ronda
Wouldn't
Rousey.
need
And I
to
think Misha Tate totally turns on like a nasty attitude.
take
You
take
cannot lose 3 times to Rousey. You
take.
can't lose
I
three
was just gonna
times.
say that. Take all of the animosity out and just consider that you lost twice the two times you fought her. That's motivation enough.
But
I mean, to me,
yes, but
she
the
don't need
motivation,
all that other extra cheese to eat her slice of pizza.
the anger will come. First of all, you can never have too much cheese on pizza, but the anger will come from her thinking that she's being fed to Rousey for 300 and thinking this is disrespectful.
Ooh, if she's listening to this podcast, if she wasn't thinking about it before, listen to me and Timmy B, and she's gonna be
I'm
like,
still
oh,
I'm still a god competitor. I'm still gunning for that bantamweight championship. I just took out
yeah,
another ranked competitor.
yeah,
Don't be feeding me to Ronda Rousey for a clown show.
yeah.
Dude, I'm gonna kill
And
Rousey and then claim my title shot.
And by the way, an up and coming competitor, a lion, a pass the torch match, right?
Right.
Another
Yeah.
lion or lioness in this case that wasn't just ready to give up the goods. But I
Yeah.
want to revisit this before we go on to our subject.
Mm.
So basically, Ronda Rousey, all right? I think you are right when you said that she made women's MMA interesting. I think you are right when you saw her on a card. There were people that came exclusively just to
Yeah.
see her. I think you are right, because if you consider some of the matches that had boring main events that people were leaving the arena, everybody
Mhm.
stayed for Ronda Rousey. In fact,
Yeah.
if a card fell apart, if Ronda Rousey was still the headline, she carried it. All right, her
Yeah.
and Holly Holm carried it. I don't even remember that card in Australia. I only remember that fight. Okay, when she submitted Kat Zingano in 13 seconds, I don't even remember before that. But I remember that fight. So you have a strong argument for your body of work and why she belongs in the greatest of all time, top 5. But to have her at number 1, the blasphemy, the
Number one, my friend.
blasphemy.
Do you know how many? Hold on. Do you know when we were going out to the bars to watch UFC pay-per-views,
Mm-hmm.
if Ronda Rousey was on that card, the number of women that would be in the bar to watch that fight? I think Ronda Rousey created a whole generation of female fighters or opened up the minds of female athletes that they could be fighters. She did more for the sport than just headline UFC events and bring in numbers for UFC. I think she inspired women around the world to do what she's doing. And
Absolutely.
I think that when we're looking at young fighters today, like Stan Fairtex and like whoever else,
Mm-hmm.
they owe a lot to Rousey for doing all this, for the motivation of it, if not for opening the doors for the money of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I got her number one. I got her number one.
I was just trying to, because we were having two different conversations here. I was just trying to make those two conversations one. You were talking about what she did to the sport. I was on that Bill Parcells thing. You are what your record says you are. Your record show you got kicked in the head by a woman who's lost almost every single fight since, and you got finished in 45 seconds to the true GOAT, the greatest of all time, Amanda Nunes. So oh my
Yeah.
God, I'm so glad you said that, because you think you're alone in your argument? If we had a bandwagon fallacy and did a poll, how many people would have Ronda Rousey on their list? Probably more to support your argument maybe than mine. I'm having an open mind.
I don't know.
But what I wanted to do is make sure our two different conversations met somewhere in which side of the middle, right? Everything's in the middle in life, right? Which side of the middle? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool,
Yeah.
man. Nice, because
No, I got you.